America's gold rush was more than a search for fortune. It was a path into obsession, mystery, and places where men were never meant to go. Tonight, we explore 3 forgotten stories from the forbidden gold trails of America. Stories kept alive only by rumors and by the fear of those who survived. First, the ghost map of Red Creek Canyon. In 1904, treasure hunters in Nevada discovered a strange map carved directly into a canyon wall. It showed tunnels and chambers that did not exist on any official survey. The map pointed to a place called the Chamber of Echoes, said to hold a pocket of untouched gold. 3 men followed the markings deeper into the canyon. For 2 nights straight, locals reported hearing metallic banging echoing across the rocks long after sunset. When a search team arrived, they found the men's supplies neatly stacked beside the canyon wall. The carved map was gone. All that remained were 3 handprints pressed deeply into the stone, as if something had pulled the men underground. To this day, hikers swear that on quiet nights, you can still hear the banging coming from beneath your feet. Next, the Lantern Man of Pine Hollow Mine. In the late 1800s, miners in Montana reported seeing a tall figure walking the tunnels, carrying a lantern that gave off no light. He never spoke. He never approached. He simply watched. Miners claimed he only appeared before a disaster, a collapse, a cave-in, or an accident. They called him the Lantern Man. One night in 1891, a collapse trapped several miners deep underground. When rescuers finally broke through, they found the men alive. The miners said someone with a lantern had led them to safety through a side tunnel, but rescuers insisted there was no side tunnel. When they searched, they found nothing. No tunnel, no footprints, only an old lantern lying on the ground, cold as stone. Locals believe the Lantern Man still walks the abandoned mine. Some say he protects trespassers. Others think he is looking for something he lost long ago. Our third story, the disappearance of the Willow Creek Caravan. In 1868, a group of prospectors traveled through Wyoming with over 100 pounds of raw gold. They never arrived at their destination. A scouting team found their campsite perfectly arranged, as if the group had prepared for an attack. But nothing was disturbed. Food was untouched. Weapons still loaded. Gold bars sitting in open crates. The strangest part, there were no tracks leaving the camp. Not from wagons, not from horses, not from people. It was as if the entire caravan stood up and vanished into thin air. A Shoshone legend speaks of a place in the Willow Creek Valley where the earth drinks the living. A concealed cave, perhaps, a hidden sinkhole, or something far older. No bodies were found, and the gold has never resurfaced. Finally, the Well of Black Water. In 1915, a rancher in New Mexico discovered a perfectly carved stone well on his land. No records mentioned it. No one knew who built it. When he dropped a torch inside, it didn't hit water. It didn't hit stone. It simply vanished. Prospectors claimed the well connected to ancient Spanish tunnels beneath the ground, tunnels that no historian has ever been able to locate. One prospector wrote in his journal, "I heard voices coming from the well. They weren't calling for help. They were calling me." The rancher sealed the well. A year later, he disappeared without a trace. Ghost maps etched into canyon walls. Silent guardians walking abandoned mines. Caravans swallowed by the earth itself. These are the forgotten stories of America's gold hunters. Tales buried deeper than the gold they sought. If you want more dark stories from America's hidden mines and forbidden trails, like the video, subscribe and comment. Next episode.